Meeting. I hereby call this meeting to order. We're going to begin by standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we're going to stand for words of inspiration, which Councilmember Anderson will lead for us. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to gather together in a country that's free and prosperous. We ask that you bless this assembly. We ask that you lead us and guide us and give us direction. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Milan.
Here.
Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Sampson.
Here.
Councilmember Shepard.
Here.
That is a quorum, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. First thing we're going to do is approve the agenda.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Mayor Milan.
Yes.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepard.
Yes.
I have an agenda.
Great. Next, we have public comment for items on the agenda. If you would like to come up and speak about any item that is on the agenda, you may come to the podium, state your name and where you live, and we'll be happy to give you 3 minutes of time. Not seeing anyone moving towards the podium, we will move to the next item, which will be consideration of approving our consent agenda, which includes minutes of the special city council meeting held on Tuesday, April 14th, 2022, as presented, minutes of the regular city council meeting held on Tuesday, April 19th, 2022, as presented, and the Clawson Police Department 2021 annual report, and a list of bills as presented in the amount of $3,196,903.18.
Madam Mayor, I move the approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
I'd actually like to pull off the minutes of the special and the regular city council meeting and move them to the end. I have comments about them.
Okay. Well, there was already a motion to approve it that has to be voted on.
Oh, that's true.
If
Well, you
you
know
had
what?
said that first,
Never
we would've
mind.
just yanked it.
Yeah, I'll just, I'll make my comments in the end. That's fine. You don't have to change them. We'll just change them moving forward. So, roll call.
Roll call. Mayor Milan.
Yes.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepard.
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you. We have approved our consent agenda. Next on the agenda will be presentations and proclamations. We will have a presentation by Sergeant Kelly Boss of the Clawson Police Department regarding the Clawson Police Department School Liaison Scholarship. Good evening, Kelly.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council. Thank you for having me. I just have a very brief presentation. Typically, I do this every year because of COVID. We took a 2-year break, but just want to inform you guys as well as our residents about our Clawson Police Department Scholarship Program, as well as an upcoming fundraiser we have for it. So in 2010, the Clawson Police Department, we established a scholarship program to give recognition to high school students who wish to pursue a career in law enforcement. The Clawson Police Department obviously values education and supports the youth in our community in pursuing their dreams and goals as far as their continuing education. To date, we've raised nearly $60,000 since 2010 and awarded over 25 college scholarships to students in the Clawson community. We are seeking participation from the community in raising money to fund our scholarship program to continue doing this. This year, we are hosting our annual spring fundraiser. In the past, it has been a bowl-a-thon. This is the first year that we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're co-hosting a classic car cruise, a cruise-in fundraiser with United Street Machine. And it will be at the Knights of Columbus, located at 870 North Main Street in the city of Clawson on Friday, May 27th. It is being held from 3 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and we would greatly appreciate the community's involvement in helping us raise funds for our scholarship program. The annual cruise-in is free. It's free for anybody to come to. It's also free for the participants who are entering their classic cars. If there is anyone who does want to enter a classic car into this event, again, it is free, and I have a phone number to contact Ralph Haney at, if anybody needs that. He has given me permission to publicly give out this phone number. So Ralph Haney from United Street Machine can be reached at 248-613-6525 if they'd like to register a vehicle in the event. The Clawson Police Department will raise money for the scholarship via this event from the proceeds of food sales that are purchased. We are also going to have a 50-50 and our gift raffle table, which we've had at previous bowl-a-thons, if anybody has been to them, where we've had generous donations come in from business owners in the community of gift cards or services that we'll be raffling off to raise money. And so if there are any businesses in the community that would still like to donate, we will accept gift cards or any type of services to be raffled off until May 24th. And then as far as students who would like to apply for our Clawson Police Department scholarship, we are accepting applications for that until May 13th. And really the only requirements to apply to the scholarship is that the student must be a graduating senior. They must be obviously pursuing a career within the criminal justice system. It does not have to be just in policing. It can be any career within the criminal justice system. They could be wanting to pursue a career as an attorney, probation, parole, corrections. We're really very open. Forensics, we will accept applications for anything that's within that field. The student must have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 and must either attend Clawson High School or be a Clawson resident. That's a graduating senior at another high school. If anybody has questions about applying for the scholarship or making a donation to the scholarship program, I can be reached by phone at 248-655-4450 or by email. My email is B as in boy, AUSS@cityofclawson.com. Does anybody have any questions about the event or the scholarship?
Is that the flyer you've got there?
Yeah. Do you want one? I did put some in your guys' mailbox, but it was probably like 2 months ago, so. It's front and back.
Okay. Thank you.
Or just in case anybody has questions.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. This is on my phone already.
Have you posted this anyplace around town yet, or?
No, we'll be passing out flyers over the next week or so around town,
Okay.
but they are on like the city web pages. and
Okay,
stuff.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your guys' support. I know you guys already have one.
Are you looking for volunteers?
Yeah, we would love to have volunteers. We already have a list of a few volunteers, but we could use some more people. I know Mr. Heaney has, a large following of volunteers that he uses for all of his community service events. But I would like specifically some volunteers for helping me run the 50-50 as well as the raffle table and some setup. I obviously have a couple people from the police department and Madam Mayor, but if there's anybody else who would like to volunteer, we would love to have a couple extra.
Great. Sounds like a wonderful event, and anything Mr. Haney does is always spectacular, so
Yes.
that will just help you out,
He doesn't
right?
need a lot of help, so. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sergeant Buss. Next thing on the agenda will be consideration of a proclamation recognizing May 15th through 21, 2022 as Department of Public Works Week in the city of Clawson. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, emergency management, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Clawson. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are federally mandated first responders and the engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Clawson to gain knowledge and maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works first responders and public works programs in their respective communities, and whereas the year 2022 marks the 62nd annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association. Now therefore be it resolved that by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor and speaking on behalf of the entire city of Clawson, I hereby designate the week May 15th through 21, 2022 as National Public Work Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life. I kind of like this proclamation, and I like thinking of the public works people, and I was thinking as I was reading it, most little boys, when they're very young, love public works. They love the trucks, they love the diggers and the sky things and all those things that go along. And then as they get older, they look at it like work and then probably forget how much fun it was when they were little. But we do appreciate our DPW crew and all of the people who work so hard to make sure that we are safe and that our facilities and roads are well maintained. So thank you. The next item on our agenda is something that is we'll be doing with a little bit of sadness, as our treasured treasurer, Stacy Hodges, has decided that it's time for her to leave these hallowed halls and go and have a life outside of the city of Clawson City Hall. So as hard as it is to believe that she could actually do that, she has decided to do that. So I have a proclamation for you, Stacy. This is retirement. This is recognizing the retirement of Treasurer Stacy Hodges. Whereas after 36 years of dedicated service to the Clawson community, our treasurer, Stacy Hodges, has announced her retirement effective Monday, May 2nd, 2022. Whereas Ms. Hodges began her City Hall career as a bright-eyed, energetic Clawson High School co-op student, that position grew into a full-time account clerk job in the treasurer's office, where she expanded her knowledge in tax and utility billing, accounts payable and receivable, and the ins and outs of being a municipal treasurer. And whereas Ms. Hodges' dedication, integrity, and professionalism led her to being named Clawson City Treasurer in November of 2005, and whereas during Ms. Hodges' tenure, she became a certified professional treasurer and a certified public finance administrator, which led to her involvement in numerous organizations. And whereas Ms. Hodges served for 6 years on the Oakland County Treasurers Association Board of Directors as treasurer, secretary, vice president, and eventually president, she was also a member of the Michigan Municipal Treasurers Association and the Association of Public Treasurers of the United States and Canada. And whereas Stacy would welcome all new employees with donuts or bagels and was the first to pass around a card for all to sign to celebrate her coworkers' birthdays or achievements, her smile, laugh, love of potato chips, and eternally positive attitude brightened many a resident and coworker's day. And whereas while those of us in the city of Clawson will miss her work ethic and consistent optimism, we know Stacy's retirement is well-deserved. The city of Clawson will be hard-pressed to replace her experience, professionalism, generosity, and smile. Now therefore be it resolved that by the virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor and speaking on behalf of the entire city of Clawson, I do hereby express our sincerest appreciation and gratitude to Stacy Hodges for her 36 years of service to the Clawson community and wish her all the best in a very well-deserved retirement. Stacy?
Come to me.
just want to say thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it, and kindness really does matter. I was honored to be able to serve the residents and the business owners of the city of Clawson for 30-plus years, and I've met a lot of great people over those years, and I'm going to miss getting to see them on a daily basis and getting to see my coworkers on a daily business, on a daily. And that's really, Clawson really just is the little city with a big heart, and I thank everybody for their time tonight.
No. Gotta go.
Thank you, Papa.
I, for one, am going to miss my cheerful good morning every morning when she come in the office and say good morning. Just the first smile of the day always came from Stacy.
Yeah, attitude definitely makes a difference. My husband used to send Stacy little notes when he would send in our tax payments, and it gives you an opportunity to put in a note, and he was shocked when he realized she actually paid attention to them. So he made a friend with her. She made a friend with him right away. Okay, for new business. Right, new business. First item on our new business would be consideration of appointing Jennifer Tomlinson as the interim treasurer. Since we have a vacancy in that department, has been thought of that Jennifer, who's our assistant city clerk, would make
Deputy, yeah.
deputy city clerk would make a good interim placement into that department. So,
Madam Mayor, I move to approve the appointment of Jennifer Tomlinson as interim treasurer and direct the city attorney to negotiate a professional employment agreement with her in the amount not to exceed $72,000.
Second.
any comments? As this is a city council position, I'm fully in favor. Jennifer's going to make a great junior Stacy, because she has that beautiful optimism and cheerfulness as well. So she'll be good to move over there for the time being. But I would like to know what the timeline is to actually seek a full-time person for this position.
I would say it's probably 4 to 6 months. We have to get through this budget season and the tax collection season, and then consider a internal post and or external post.
Okay. Okay, we'll take your advisement on that for the time being. Any other comments? We'll have roll call.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Mayor Milan.
Yes.
I'll let her know when she wakes up.
Thank you.
She's
So-
jet lagged from Portugal, so.
Oh, really?
It's the last vacation she'll be getting for a while. She'll probably be needing it. She probably should have waited a little while.
She's
Probably
aware.
be needing it. So that's great. We'll have Jennifer Tomlinson as our interim city treasurer. The next item on our agenda is introduction and swearing in of Nick Stepnitz as the interim assistant city manager. Our city manager has determined that he needs to fill the interim city manager position and took it upon himself to name Nick. And Nick's been a great asset to us in the 3 years, Nick, that you've been here.
Just shy of that, but it feels like it's been about 10 to 15.
Well, you're young, that's why.
Well, you've shown resilience, Nick. I guess that's a good part. That's something you need in this industry, for sure. Mr. Raker, did you want to?
You want to swear him in?
There hasn't been a motion. We got to do all that.
There's no need for a
There's
motion.
no need for motion.
Oh, okay. Then we're just going to swear him in? I'm ready.
I'll take pictures for him.
I can do it.
Where do you want to stand? Raise your right hand and repeat after me, sir. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state
and the Constitution of this state
and the Charter of the City of Clawson,
and the Charter of the City of Clawson,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties
and that I will faithfully perform the duties
of the office of Interim Assistant City Manager
of the office of Interim Assistant City Manager
in and for the City of Clawson,
in and for the City of Clawson,
County of Oakland,
County of Oakland,
State of Michigan,
State of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Signature when you're done handshaking.
Okay, so on the same vein, we would like to now introduce you to Mr. Vincent Smith, who is going to be serving as our interim chief of police. As with the resignation of Chief Sarvello in his last day last week, we had an opening, and Mr. Smith comes to us with great words of support. So we look forward to having you here for however long you happen to be here.
Madam Mayor, I move to approve the interim chief agreement with Mr. Vincent Smith and introduce him as the interim chief of police of the city of Clawson.
Support.
Roll call, please.
We are on Councilman Shepherd,
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson,
Yes.
Mayor Milan,
Yes.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes. Welcome aboard.
You have the ceremonial oath?
Got it here?
All right.
We can do it again. Got all the right patches on? Yeah. All caught up? Yeah. Okay, raise your right hand, repeat after me, sir. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this state,
the Constitution of this state,
and the Charter of the City of Clawson,
the Charter of the City of Clawson,
and I will faithfully perform the duties
and I will faithfully perform the duties
of the office of Interim Police Chief
of the Office of Interim Police Chief
in and for the City of Clawson,
and for the City of Clawson,
County of Oakland,
County of Oakland,
and State of Michigan,
State of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you, sir.
If you'd like to make a welcome to everyone, you may.
Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Retired. Joking over there.
Karen, sweet.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council, and members of the community. I was honored when I was chosen to lead another agency, and I'm equally honored to lead this agency in an interim role. I consider myself lucky to get the opportunity to work with a great group of employees that I've met so far. Members of the department, very professional, a lot of leadership skills. I know Chief Sarvello was huge in the community, and the department was active in the community as well. And I look forward to building on the foundation that he's laid for the time I'm here. So, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is consideration of the introduction and first reading of the proposed amendment in the City of Clawson Code of Ordinances, Chapter 36.9, Non-Residential Sign Regulations. The city attorney is, are you presenting for us?
Do you need it presented? Sure.
Well, what I have before me says the city attorney is presenting for you consideration and adoption of a small amendment to the ordinance which governs non-residential sign regulations. Currently, the first sentence of the ordinance reads, signs permitted along Rochester Road outside of the multiple family residential area, Main Street north of Leroy and south of Nakota, and West 14 Mile Road between Girard and Manitou, Maple west of Selfridge and Crooks Road, and North Selfridge. Says C master plan, which
Well, I
just
wanna be able-
visualize it.
We need a motion in a second before we start discussing this,
Just because.
because that's just the way things are.
This is part of that, right?
You discuss that after.
This isn't
discussion.
discussing, this is part of the, okay. Go ahead. You didn't interrupt me, so I didn't know that I was doing.
No, you're fine. Madam
That was
Mayor?
fine, right?
Well, I would like to make the motion, and then we can make it official. I moved an ordinance to amend the City of Clawson Code of Ordinances, Chapter 36.9, to modify the non-residential sign regulations to be introduced and entered into first reading.
Support.
Councilmember Anderson?
Oh, we're not voting yet.
No, that's right, we're not voting yet. We're just, now you're discussing.
Yes.
Glad the microphone
Oh,
wasn't
yes.
on.
This wasn't really discussing, but I'll finish where I left off. It was stating what we're talking about, but the North Selfridge portion adds a layer of confusion as it makes it appear the South Crooks of the ordinance does not apply, which was not the intent of the drafters. We're proposing that the sentence be modified as follows. Signs permitted along Rochester Road outside of the multiple family residential area, Main Street north of Leroy, south of Nakota, and West 14 Mile Road between Girard and Manitou. Maple west of Selfridge and Crooks Road, see master plan, visualize master plan. So now we can have discussion because we know what we're talking about. Anyone have discussion?
Is this stopping signs?
I'm sorry, what's the
Is it
question?
stopping the signs? I mean, any signs that we put up?
Stop any signs from being put up.
She's not going to know.
I don't know if it stops signs. It says signs signs permitted along Rochester Road.
So we're going to allow them now? I'm just going to,
I don't know if it changes, it just clarifies where they're allowed, I
okay.
think.
Because I've seen them all up and down there, so I mean,
If I may add, Madam Mayor, so the city attorney reached out last week and wanted to add this to the agenda because there had been some text concerns with the ordinance, and it was to give clarification to placement.
so
No one has questions?
I was just curious if there's any other, this is the only location that has that type of, I would assume, but.
To the best of my knowledge, yes, sir, that this is strictly, the city attorney brought it to my attention, wanted to add to the agenda to provide this legal clarification
Okay.
To the ordinance.
Or I mean, there's potential for something to come up. Has there been an example or a recent situation or?
Unfortunately, I don't have that
Okay.
context, I
That's
apologize.
fine. I mean, I'd rather have it be clear and concise. Right?
And what I can do is I can tell the city attorney to have that preparation for the second reading.
yeah.
I'll go with it. Okay.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
No.
Councilmember Sampson?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
Yes.
I will publish the public hearing for the next meeting.
Thank you very much. So the next meeting will have a public hearing for what we just talked about, which needs more explanation. Next thing on the agenda is consideration of the second reading and adoption of an ordinance to establish maximum impervious surface coverage standards in the R1 and R2 districts within the city of Clawson.
Madam Mayor, I move an ordinance to amend the City of Clawson Code Ordinances, Chapter 34, Article 10, or X, Section 34-2.2, Section 34-3.1A, Section 34-3.1B, and Section 34-4.1 to establish maximum impervious surface coverage standards in the R1 and R2 districts. Be approved and adopted.
Support.
So I'd like to open a public hearing. If anyone has any questions regarding this, this is something we talked about a couple of weeks ago. It's something that also came up from the Planning Commission. On March 22nd, the Planning Commission approved and recommended that the City Council approve an ordinance to establish maximum impervious surface coverage standards in the R1 and R2 districts within the City of Clawson. The ordinance seeks to limit the amount of surface on a residential property that can be paved over and covered by other structures. The supplemental information provided by Giffords Webster's will offer greater information on the proposed ordinance. The City Council approved the first reading of the impervious surface ordinance on April 26th. In order to approve the ordinance, a public hearing is necessary. We just opened the public hearing, so if anyone has, I'm assuming we don't have any additional information from Giffords and Webster at this time, because I don't see anyone here and I don't see anything on the screen. So if anyone has any questions regarding this, Again, it's just a way to maintain that, come on up, sir. People can't take their whole yard and turn it into concrete or structures. That's the intent.
Not just for regular.
Come on up, please. How are you today?
I'm great.
Good.
I was questioning if this is going to cover service roads? Like the corner of Phillips and Selfridge, where it's all tore up and they put Band-Aids on it every year to try to fix it?
No,
Yeah.
this is, Madam Mayor, if I may. So this is strictly for residential lots.
Okay. Then I'll talk to you later about this other one.
Thank you, sir. Okay, is there anyone else with any questions? Then I will close the public hearing and we will have a vote, please.
Mayor Milan,
Yes.
Councilmember Sampson,
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
That's unanimous. I will publish that as appropriate.
Great, so we will be adopting the maximum impervious surface coverage standards as provided by Giffords Webster. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is old unfinished business. Does anyone have any old unfinished business they'd like to address? I'll take that as a no, and we'll move on to public comments for items that are not on the agenda. Welcome back. If you'd please state your name when you come back up, we'd appreciate it, sir. Sorry you had to walk and then go back, but you're getting your mileage in today.
Yep. My name's Ron McCauley. I live at 1008 West Selfridge. And I'm concerned about the corner of that area there where it's all torn up and gets fixed every spring and then it just falls apart during the year. And I don't know what your plan is to fix that intersection, if you even have one. I mean, we've been talking about this for 6 or 7 years now. And everything I hear is you'll never see it fixed in your lifetime. I'm getting old. I want to see it fixed in my lifetime.
So where are you on West Selfridge? What intersection are you referencing?
Phillips and Selfridge.
Oh, perfect. That's a perfect, I'm glad you said that. Mr. Raker, our city manager has some really great news for you, potentially really great news for you.
Pending council's approval. Sir, pending council's approval, that is one of the projects that we do plan to have taken care of this construction season. So with council's approval, we will have a budget hearing on the 17th of May. And then also tentatively, we are tracking to have the specs for that job before council as well. So you hopefully will have some remedy yet this construction season.
Are they going to grind it down 3 inches and then
No,
fix
it'll
it?
be, it will be reconstruction.
It'll be
concrete, sir.
from where? From
The-
Crooks all the way down to Sham and then down to,
I can get your contact information and give you the specifics, but I don't have the actual linear feet from where to where.
Okay.
But it is that general area, that intersection.
I'll wait and see what happens.
Sir,
okay.
fair enough.
Can I have one more thing?
Of course.
The corner of Main and 14 Mile where Pizza Hut used to be, is there any plans for that to be done, anything to it?
I believe it's held by a private owner at this point, if I'm not mistaken, and they can do what they choose with it, but right now there are no plans that we are aware of, correct?
Is there any chance we can buy that property and put it into a little park area where you got some tables and chairs and use it to beautify downtown?
That is a very nice idea, but.
It was turned down by city council last year.
Yeah. It has an independent owner at this point who most likely doesn't want it to remain the way it is, I would assume, for very long.
Sort of
But
like,
can't speak
sort
for
of
him,
like
really.
Burger King, they were gonna fix that too, to a restaurant,
Yeah.
sitting there empty.
Yeah, the problem is, when they're privately owned, we have no jurisdiction other than to ensure that the buildings or the properties are
Eminent
maintained
domain.
and safe. That's all we can do.
Condemn it and make it like you do houses.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak?
Hello, I'm Leah Davis, the curator at the Clawson Historical Museum. We have our first presentation since the pandemic coming up. That will be on May 28th. It's a Saturday. It's called High Times and Dry Times. It is about Prohibition in Michigan. At that time, we actually started Prohibition a few years before the rest of the country, but then we also brought in 75% of the bootleg alcohol. Special us. The presentation, again, is on May 28th. It's a Saturday. The doors will open here at City Hall in the community room at 11:30. The presentation itself will actually start at noon. We have a little 1920s mocktail that will be served, no alcohol. It actually comes from a 1920s book of recipes that people will get to enjoy. It's kind of a performance, so there's a little bit of people, joining in. She hasn't exactly told me everything, but she's got some cards and stuff like that people will have to hold up. So if you're not into that, but it should be a lot of fun. It's roughly about an hour. I have flyers here at City Hall, the library, and the museum, as well as a Facebook event online for people to find more of the information. And then we have some signs that will go up a little bit closer to that date as well, just so that people don't have to search for that information. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
So we talked about it last time, and I read all the information that you had online, and I'm really disappointed that you didn't throw in those terms that were 1920s, whatever you call the fella and the girl and all that kind of stuff. It was super cute.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure if it would. Yeah, so she'll be dressed up, so it's kind of like a performance, so it's not just a slideshow, it'll be kind of fun. So yeah.
Thank you. Jenny, I see you back there. You want to give your own announcements for the day, just for fun? Not putting you on the spot or anything.
Good evening. I'm totally winging it right now.
I have the notes if you need them.
Yes, actually, if you wouldn't mind. So we have a Take and Make craft coming up on May 14th. We'll start with a butterfly story time. You can watch from Facebook Live, and then you can take a Make and Craft where you can see the life cycle of a butterfly. I'm sure you all wanted to know. We'll be having our adult book club coming up on the third Wednesday of the month, and this time we will be meeting in the gazebo, weather pending. And then also coming up on May 22nd from 10 to 2 is the first annual Blair Bazaar in the parking lot, where vendors will be there selling their wares and supporting the library. And that's about the best I can do at 8:00-something.
That was most excellent.
Thank you very much. Thanks. All right, thanks.
Sorry, Leah, this is for you, too. Sorry, don't want you to feel slighted. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Okay, then we will end public comments, and we'll move on to the city attorney's report.
Hi, Kara Crafton-Velosic. I'm here for Rennis Newshy tonight, and no news from the city attorney.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, do you have any reports for us this evening?
Yes, Madam Mayor. At the last meeting, a resident and the chaplain Drexel, he inquired about getting a springtime leaf pickup. I spoke with the DPW superintendent on this. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a possibility in the springtime due to staffing and the reconfiguration of the equipment. However, the DPW is very accommodating when it comes to if someone is a little bit tardy getting their leaves out in the fall. They will work with landowners, residents, especially those that have a lot of leaves, with just a little bit of coordination if necessary. But unfortunately, we just don't have the capacity to have a spring pickup. A note to Stacy Hodges, very surprised in that, and a little disappointed. We worked so well together on a couple of little projects, and I really did enjoy my time working with Stacy. But anyone that works in public service for as long as she has certainly has earned her right and opportunity to retire, and so I wish her nothing but the best in retirement. And I look forward to running into you around town, which has happened twice since you've retired, in 2 different towns. And then we do have one order of business for council's consideration. It was in regards to the budget schedule. The one thing I neglected to put on there was the actual scheduling of a public hearing. So depending on how council feels about our trajectory to get a budget approved by charter, we are to have it approved at the second council meeting in May. So we could do it the 17th or be creative and move the second meeting to either the, it would be the 24th or 31st, if that was the will of council. But the administration's committed to answering all your questions between now and the 17th, be it at the 10th workshop and anytime between now and the 17th. If there are questions, if there's a request to meet specifically, we will accommodate. That being said, the 17th, the 24th, or the 31st. Currently, we have a budget meeting, or the agenda item should be a hearing. That takes an act of council to set the hearing. That was not done with the budget schedule. So if someone would be so inclined to make that motion.
What's the best day for you?
Well, I mean, we can
24th?
track the 17th.
I'll be out of town from the 19th through the 24th.
Okay, so the 17th is what I think everybody was under the impression for anyway. That was just an oversight on my part as far as putting the actual hearing before council in conjunction with the budget workshop dates
Do you need a motion to
set the public hearing for the 17th.
make a motion to set the public hearing for the 17th?
Support.
So if we do that, it doesn't allow any time. So let's say our public comes in and has lots of comments and concerns, and it makes us revise our budget, want to rethink our budget. It gives us no time to do that. To have the budget hearing and the budget approval all at the same time.
It's always like that, though.
It's not always like that.
The public hearing and the day that it's approved is always on the same day. Traditionally, I'll say. It doesn't have to be, but it is. This is how it's done.
But the approval by charter is for the second meeting in May.
Right.
Roll call.
Councilmember Sampson.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Mayor Milan.
No.
I'll publish it accordingly.
Do you have anything else for us, Mr. Raker?
No, ma'am, that is it.
Okay, so I have something for you. I had a resident inquire regarding fire permits. The policy, they live in a, there are some residents that have very spacious yards. This gentleman does not, and he has an annoyance from his residents, his next door neighbors that enjoy fire pits, and sadly, he does not enjoy their fire pits. So I would like you to come back with us maybe at the next meeting and give a presentation on what the requirements are for a fire permit for people, the residents, so that they will understand that there are actually stipulations. Is that easy? Like you're looking at me weird. There are some requirements for it, and there's also a permit required. And I don't think everyone is aware of that in our community.
We'll
and-
give a small presentation at the
Yeah,
beginning.
I'm not asking for 3 songs, a dance.
It might not be at the
and-
17th, it may be the first meeting in June then.
Sure, whatever works for you. That would be fine. It will be small, so it wouldn't actually take much time anyways, and it would satisfy this resident to actually address it. But if you'd like to wait till June, I suppose we can do that.
We have a.
Madam Mayor, I can give you a copy of that regulations like tonight.
I have a copy of it.
Oh, okay,
I'm
good.
not looking for it for myself. I'm looking for it for a resident. And if one resident has a question, most likely many others do as well. And I thought we could address it publicly because then everyone could understand. The people that pay attention will understand what the rules are, what the process is to ensure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. And then maybe just how to be nice to your neighbor, right? Because part of it's just consideration. So if we could do that for our residents, I would appreciate it. Do I need council approval to ever make that
I
request?
think you do, and I disagree. I think we have enough information that's available on our website for something like that. And that if it's a going concern, then we can address it accordingly, but not for one person.
If they fill out a permit, I think they get that document, tells them 10 feet from everything, and everything's explained in it, so.
Thank you for supporting this resident. I'll make sure I give him all of your emails and let him know that you were happy to support him and anyone else who may have that same question. Okay, does anyone else have anything for Mr. Raker? Okay, I do. So, Mr. Raker, this evening, we approved an appointment for a position that does not have a job description, it does not have qualifications, and it does not have a salary associated with it. And we spoke of this earlier. I do have a problem with that. We also swore in someone today who had started working already that we had to approve a contract for. I also have a problem with that. I think there's processes that should be taken, and council is not supposed to be just a rubber stamp for things that have already transpired. I would appreciate moving forward if you would ensure that what needs to be done is done prior to, that we're not coming here to stamp something that's already taken place. That's a waste of all of our time. So I would professionally request that you work on that towards the future.
For clarification, when it came to the chiefs, that was not necessary. It was a way to introduce them to the community and to council.
For clarification, you need council approval to enter into a contract over $500?
Actually, it was already budgeted, and it was.
It's not about being budgeted, it's about approving a contract. We need to approve the contract.
It was an employee agreement with not very many legal stipulations, so it wasn't
Are you
exactly-
saying that it just didn't matter? Or are you saying that we didn't have the right, the authority to do that?
Technically, I would say you did not. I gave it to you because I wanted to create an introduction for the council.
I'm glad we had the introduction, that's great, but you entered into a contract without council approval is what you did. Yes,
I would-
We got a city's attorney,
we don't.
no, have Rennes give us an opinion.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'll be great. Let's have Rennes do that.
It
Because we
actually
need to pay
was-
Rennes to create another, what, for what reason? What would we need to
Well, you- I don't-
incur his
I don't have a
time for
problem
that?
with Anything that was done.
I know you don't.
You do, and I think that it'd be, to have an opinion.
I don't need an opinion because it won't matter. It will not matter to me at all what our city attorney's opinion comes back for. Just asking for a professional courtesy as the body. And if you were paying attention to the body and cared about the body, you'd probably request the same thing.
I'm asking for an opinion.
No, that's a waste of his time and money. We pay him a lot of money to draft an opinion to say something that's obvious. That's it. There's no use asking him. Like, why waste the resources?
Because you're being accusative of the city manager of not doing something right. I believe that's what the city attorney will tell us it was right, or he'll tell us it was wrong, but instead of doing it in public, let's get the opinion.
No,
of
I
everybody.
believe in only doing these things in public. That's my standpoint. All of this should be done in public. There should be less little after-school meetings, and then everything should be done in public.
For the record, I did consult with the city attorney on this, and that
Great.
was I was not making any violations of any act or privilege of council.
I would beg to differ, but does anyone else have anything? Any council comments? City council comment time? Mr. Anderson? Mr. Sampson? Mr. Shepherd?
Yes, I want to say thank you for those who came out to the Arbor Day event that our inaugural event that we had on Saturday. I think next year we could probably double the amount of people that come out, but I think it was a good start. And I appreciate, Nick, for your help in really being successful in pulling this together. And I think it was a good use of our time with the Sustainability Committee. And look forward to doing something in the future. And Jenny, I really appreciate your help from the library and supporting us. So thank you very much for that.
Okay, I wanted to say congrats to Ace Hardware on their grand opening last week. The store is beautiful. Go patronize them. It's so easy to find things now. And I would also like to say welcome to the House of Barbecue. They're located at 220 South Main. I picked up some stuff today and we sampled it and it is delish. So go support our new local business. Also on May 22nd, which is such a busy day in Clawson and everywhere else, I don't know why that's a popular date this year, but it is. There's a Crafton flea market. The first Crafton flea market at the farmer's market will be taking place at the Clawson City Park. There'll be music by Maggie McCabe. There'll be a native plant giveaway while supplies last. Day Millionaire Farms and Shaker Farms will be there. There'll be food items. If you're interested in selling items, you can contact Penny Lubes at pennycplr@aol.com. And then I think you guys already mentioned the bazaar. Oh, no, this is 22nd annual. On May 22nd, there's going to be the Blair Bazaar, right? Sponsored by the Friends of the Blair Memorial Library. There'll be 20 vendors there. General Dogs will be there and Treat Dreams. And it'll be in the library parking lot. Parking's available in the municipal lot at City Hall. So on Sunday, the 22nd, go to the library and then go to the park, but both of them end by 2, so go early. And then that's all I really have for right now, so I would like to entertain an
Motion to
adjournment for
adjourn.
this meeting.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Shepherd?
Yes.
Shepherd. Anderson?
Yes.
Milan?
Yes,
Sampson?
Yes.
We are adjourned.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everyone have a great evening, be safe.
All right.